Hello everybody, time for another top 10 from your favorite YouTube user. Yeah, that wasn't funny, I know. Anyway, this top 10 will be my top 10 anime guys. Now, in all honesty, when I watch anime, I tend to focus more on the girls. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Typical guy, right? Well, fine, I'm a typical guy, so be it. There are times, however, when the guys get my attention as well, and that's what this list is for. However, I will only be going over guys. In other words, there will be no traps on this list, since I consider them guys and girls. You know how these go, so let's just get straight into it. Beginning the list at 10 is probably the most fun character here. He's loud and moronic at times, but he's really likable. And as a teacher, he ranks as one of the best. At 10 is Satome. I really like this guy. He's a great teacher. Always smiling, really passionate about his work. He's just great. How does he put up with Shizune though? As most of us know, each class in Momotsuki Academy has at least one problematic student, Shizune being 1D's problem. I would have liked to have had someone like Satome as a teacher. His cheery personality would make him pretty easy to get along with. But that is also why he's at 10. He's a bit too loud and moronic for his own good. While that may no doubt attract some people, it would also drive others crazy. Still, he's good at what he does, and he makes it to number 10. Making the number 9 spot is the scheming and analytical mastermind of the Black Knights. The anti-hero who will outmaneuver you at every turn. If you choose to go against him, you'd better know what you're getting yourself into. At number 9 is Lelouch v Britannia. Lelouch is one of those guys you will either come to like and respect, or downright hate. Having the people stand up to Britannia to try to restore Japan to what it was a monumental task, which he seemed to do pretty darn well. I personally think he made an excellent leader. Manipulative, of course, but like I said, he's an anti-hero. And like most anti-heroes, he does what he wants, however he wants, when he wants. It was a bit sad that he ultimately died. Was it really necessary? Wasn't there another way? That's the main reason why I didn't particularly like Code Geass Season 2. It's got unnecessarily depressing. And Lelouch also has his own flaws, which puts him at 9. He manipulated his own comrades, he failed to beat his rival Suzaku, I'm pretty sure they were rivals, he left many dangerous people alive, and of course, his enormous sister complex. If even one of these things were different, he might have ranked higher. Still, he's enormously respectable, incredibly cunning, and he earns his place at number 9. At the 8th spot is the delinquent student who goes by the name of, as KHF would say, "Who the hell do you think I am?" A very comical and serious guy who would make a great classmate. He always entertains and has a big heart. Making number 8 is Kenji Harima. Out of the entire male cast of School Rumble, of which I have seen one season, Harima and Kurasuma were really the only guys that I came to like. There was also Mikoto's basketball coach, who seemed pretty decent, but aside from them, there was not a single likable male character. They were all shit. Every single one of them. Well, that captain guy was alright, even though we only saw him near the end of Season 1. I'm getting off topic though, back to Harima. Despite the fact that he is a delinquent, he is incredibly likable. I can see why Yakumo admired him, and personally, I think he looks better clean-shaven. Thinking about it, there are quite a few similarities between Harima and Seiji Sawamura from Midori days. They're both delinquents, always up for a fight, but they both look out for those in need. And they're hopeless with women, but in different ways. What exactly does Harima see in Tenma? I don't get it. At the risk of pissing him off, she's a bad choice for him, and that's the main reason he's so low on this list. Still, he's funny, he's kind, he's very decent, and he makes number 8. At the 7th spot is a guy with a badly deserved reputation. Almost every student in his school fears him because of how he looks. The select few who aren't like that are the members of the club he's in. Only they know how he really is. Coming in at 7 is Kodaka Hasegawa. I cannot believe he's in such a prejudiced school. He's a really nice guy. We all see it. Of course, despite the fact that he hates being thought of as a delinquent, he doesn't do anything about it, which is stupid. Now, where have I seen that before? Oh yes. I imagine things are that way because some find it funny. I do like Kodaka's big heart though. The way he always puts himself out for his friends is really great, and how he stepped up to the plate to look after himself and his sister also adds to his admiration. Interestingly, I found there to be a strong similarity between Kodaka and Tomoya Okazaki. Both found a friend during their childhood, forgot about them due to their own reasons, met them again after several years, then remembered them over time. For Kodaka, that was Yozora, and for Tomoya, that was Kotomi. Kodaka's big heart would have landed him higher, but because he doesn't try to improve his image to the student body, he's staying at 7. At number 6 is a guy who demands respect. He's not going to win the Nice Guy award, but he would still have your back if the situation demanded it. You would just need to watch what you say around him, because he would hurt you. Making number 6 is Soichiro Hinamura. Known simply as the Fourth, he is a very respectable and intimidating gang leader. His lackeys are complete idiots. Let's just get that out of the way. But they are nothing if not loyal to Fourth. And if by some crazy chance I found myself in the Hirasaka gang, I'd be loyal to him as well. His personality is probably the part of him I like the most. The way he always calls Narumi Garden Club, the gruff way he talks to people, how very little seems to shake him. He's just an excellently done character. Yes, he rarely smiles and could maybe lighten up a bit, but he's a gang leader, and you would get nowhere as a gang leader by being a pansy. He does value people though, especially Alice, and at least to me, he doesn't need to change, and he earns the number 6 spot. Kuwazaning into number 5 is the publicly proclaimed hero of light. Despite being thrown into a backwards world with an alien culture, Claude C. Kenny stepped up to the challenges that faced him and passed all the tests with flying colors. While he did initially seem to lack confidence, due to him living under the shadow of his father, Claude soon grew and took on the role of a leader very well, and I think he learned what it meant to be a hero. Plus, his friends all saw him as Claude instead of someone's son, and that no doubt helped him as well. Claude is a really admirable person. By the end of Star Ocean EX, he learned to trust himself and his friends, and he grew into a strong and dependable person. For that, he has my respect. It was also kind of funny seeing him put in those humorous situations and just thinking, why me? Though, he should have really learned to speak up instead of just sighing and letting them happen. Well, whatever. He's a great person, and he makes it to number 5. The number 4 spot goes to someone fairly similar to Claude. He was thrown into a weird world with strange people, but by the end of it, he had grown, and everyone came to like and respect him. The only real difference is that he started with no memories of anything. Some of you probably have an inkling of who I'm talking about. And yes, I am of course referring to Yuzuru Otonashi. I'm pretty sure that if any other person were put through what Otonashi was, they'd either completely lose it or stay as far away from Battlefront as possible. But not him. Despite everything, he held in there, faced all the challenges, and even helped the various characters. It's quite sad what happened to his sister. It's always hard losing someone really close to you, even though I've never been in that exact situation. But seeing how he worked through it by deciding to help people was great. And even when he died, he did manage to achieve that. Otonashi was such a great guy, really supportive, an amazing friend, hilarious at times, and super dependable. And for that, he has earned the number 4 place on this list. Making it to number 3 is the fat military otaku. He's normally a bit whiny and kind of stupid at times, but put a gun in his hands and he does a complete 180. You guessed it, Kota Hirano. Now some of you are probably asking why Kota and not Takashi, right? Well, I do really like Takashi. He's a great guy and an excellent leader. But I think Kota deserves some of the spotlight as well. The main thing that I like about him is his switchable personality. One minute he'll be, hey, I'm Kota Hirano. It's nice to meet you. Then, when he finds the gun, he's like, I'm Rambo. At the beginning of HOTD, he was a real wimp. I can agree with that. But by the end of the series, he had become an indispensable member of the team, and it's partly thanks to him that the gang got so far. And I believe that without him, Takashi may not have been able to save Alice. One question though. What the hell does Kota see in Saya? It's pretty obvious he fancies her, and I want to know why. I'm also kind of envious of how Kota got the opportunity to go to America and learn how to use a gun. With his incredible skill and protective personality over Alice, he gets to number 3. At 2 is the king of the fictional vampires. If he's feeling boring, he'll shoot huge holes in you. If he's feeling adventurous, he'll tear you limb from limb. He really needs no introduction. At 2 is Alucard. There's not much for me to say about this guy that Gegok from the Anime Zone didn't say in his epically cool anime characters video. Alucard is just a pure badass. His personality is exceptional. Crispin Freeman voices him so well. The way he always refers to Ceres as police girl is hilarious, and the mysterious air he has that makes you wonder which side he's on is nicely done. He makes a good anti-hero. While he may not be quote-unquote a perfect personification of what a vampire was originally based on, he's a hell of a lot better than those sparkly prats from Twilight, and a force to be reckoned with. Going against him would be worse than suicidal. And of course, there's his fear factor. But unfortunately, his fear factor and anti-hero tendencies also keep him from number 1. Still, he's good enough to be this list's runner-up. And as Gegok said, if you're ever alone at night and you see this guy, run, because this is one dude that you definitely do not want to meet in a dark alley. Okay, let's have a recap of these dudes before we get to number 1. Number 10, Satome. Number 9, Lelouch v Britannia. Number 8, Kenji Harima. Number 7, Kodaka Hasagawa. Number 6, Soichiro Hinamura, or the 4th. Number 5, Claude C. Kenny. Number 4, Yuzuru Otonashi. Number 3, Kota Hirano. And number 2, Alucard. And finally, number 1. This guy is about as dense as they come. He has no idea that someone likes him, and his friends all know it. It's kind of funny in a sense, but it's also kind of stupid. You'd think he'd pick up at least some of the signals. Seriously, EO, in 12 episodes and an OVA, you didn't realize that Sumiki has a crush on you? Not even depleted uranium is that dense. Well, he may be clueless, but he still has a big heart and he is a great character. I'm pretty sure Achikochi would be very different without someone like him around. I can actually see a few similarities between Io and Wilt. They're both really polite They always help their friends out and are easy to get along with. I do hope that Io eventually figures things out, or Sumiki screws up her courage and confesses to him. Otherwise, things are gonna go nowhere. Still, the fact that he always looks out for her is really sweet, and his talent with spinning things with his fingers is beyond impressive. Because of his big heart and awesome character, Io easily makes number 1. Well guys, that wraps up this list. Please remember to rate, comment and subscribe. A small note, I have an ask.fm account now, so if you would like to ask me any questions, head over there and ask away. I'll put a link in the description box. Stay chill, people.